This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, this is a different batch. Hold on. I'll shit. So yesterday I told you about how to export the project as a jar file and how to keep the jar file on the build part of the project. Correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ramjesh.
Yes.
So, and I told what is meant by import statement, and I also told you what is meant by while loop.
Yes, Ramjesh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These are the
Yes.
things we discussed yesterday.
Yes.
So today we are going to discuss about a new concept. So and remember one thing. So slowly the concepts are getting increasing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So starting from today, after 10 days, if you look after 10 days, you will learn hundreds of concepts. I'm damn sure. I will tell you so many things every day. Every day I'll tell you so many things. Still, to be frank, we did not even start with Java still. We are still in the basics of a programming.
Yes.
To be frank, I did not start the WOOPS concept set. That is the most important thing in Java. The WOOPS concepts, the object-oriented programming concepts. We did not start any object-oriented programming concept set. There are so many things we have to learn. Okay, so definitely you will learn so many things because 10 days means 20 classes, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Each class you learn 2 to 3 points or 4 points. So 20 into 4, 80 points. Bring it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
Angie,
you
I
go.
just
Yeah,
launched
tell
the
me.
program. It's working. So don't worry.
Okay. So what I'm saying is you have to really do a lot of hard work. What I mean by hard work is whatever you're learning today, you should not forget after 1 week. I know it's difficult. I know definitely I understand your situation because I am pumping lot of things into your mind. I'm pumping lot of things into your mind. You should be able to receive that. I know that it's difficult to receive everything in a single shot because within 10-15 days I'm telling so many things. Correct?
Yeah.
Right.
So no, definitely it is not an easy thing. I know that. You might think that it's easy, but it's not an easy thing. After 10 days, you'll come to know that because you will have so many things in your mind. When I ask you about the previous things that we learned, definitely you cannot answer that. I know that. You will forget that. So that's the reason I'm telling you. So try to practice every day the previous concepts as well. Not only the new concepts, also the previous concepts that we are learning. Because if you don't understand the concepts that we learn now, if you don't understand those concepts now, I am going to use these concepts again and again in the future. Then if you forget about this, you won't understand what I'm writing in the program. Getting
Okay.
it? So I
Okay.
want you to remember what is a instance variable, what is a instance method. If I ask you after 10 days, "Hey, what is a instance variable? You should be able to tell me. The value of the variable depends on the instance. For the first instance, the value can be something else. For the second instance, the value can be something else. For the third instance, the value can be something else. The value depends on the instance. That's why that variable is called instance variable. You have to tell me that answer. Even after 10 days, even after 20 days, even after 2 months.
Okay.
So the instance method means you are calling that method using a instance, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a instance, you cannot call the method.
The
Without
method.
object, you cannot call the method. You can call the method only with the object, correct?
Object. Yes.
Yes.
So that's why that method
Yes.
is called instance method. This is very, very important. You should know what is the instance method and what is the instance variable, and you should never forget it. Okay? And you should also know how to create a package and how to create a class inside the package, how to write the methods inside the class, and what are the arguments of a method, whether it's a 2 argument method or first or 1 argument method or 3 argument method, what arguments are there in the method, and what is the return type of the method. If you are not returning any value, you have to specify it as a void method.
Void method.
And you also should remember what is an array. Array, I told about how to create an array, how to store the data in the array, and how to retrieve the data from the array. I told all these things already. You have to remember that. It's very important. I will use this again and again in the future.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you also know what is a for loop and what is a while loop.
While loop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the things we discussed till now. So let me start with a new topic now. So I made the program very simple. Just there's a class here and that has a main method, nothing else, correct?
Yes.
So now what I do is I will write 2 more methods. So these methods are what?
Instance methods.
Instance methods.
Instance methods.
So now what I'll do is I will create 2 variables. What are these variables?
Local.
Instance.
No.
Instance variables.
These variables are instance variables, correct?
Instance variables.
Yes.
Yes.
So now I create an object of class A and I refer that object with class A variable. Okay? The
Okay.
variable name can be anything.
Yes.
I can refer the class A object only with the class A variable. I cannot refer the class A object with any other variable, correct?
Yes.
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 So now what I'll do is I'll give obj dot A equal to 20. I'm giving the value of A for this object as 20, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll say obj dot B equal to 30. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm creating another object of class A and I refer this object with class A variable. So maybe obj1, some variable name. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Obj, this particular object will respond. Obj1, this particular object will respond because that is the
Yes.
name given to that object. That is a variable referring to that object. It's a reference variable, right?
Yes.
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 So obj1 dot A is equal to 60. obj1 dot B is equal to 5. Okay. So now tell me, what is the value of A?
Which A? I mean, which object here?
Which object of
So for the second object,
60.
so
60.
I ask you to print the sysout obj1 dot A. What is the output you'll get?
60.
60.
60.
You will get it because the value of A for the second object is 60 and the value
Yes.
of A for the first object is 20, correct?
Yes.
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 Okay. So now what I'll do is I will write the same sysout after this line obj dot A. So not obj1, obj dot A.
OBC.
Okay. So now here also give obj dot A. Now when I run this program, the main method will be called first. Great.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And first
Yeah.
thing it will be to create an object of class A. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now you are printing the value of A
LFA.
for that object. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
What is the value of A for that object?
0.
0.
Yeah, because when you don't specify any value here, by default, the integer will have a 0 value. Okay.
Okay.
So because just now you created the object, that object is not given any value. Did you give any value to the object?
No.
No.
Specify what is the value of A for the object, what is the value of B for the object. You did not specify it. Before you give the values to the object, you're asking to print the value of A for this object.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because A is an integer variable, the default value of an integer variable is 0. I'm talking about the instance variables. When you have an instance variable called A, and when you create an instance, and if I ask you what is the value of A for this instance, the default value of A will be 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So suppose if I ask you what is the value of A for this instance, again, after executing all these lines, now I ask you what is the value of A for the object. What is the object? What is the value of A for the object?
20.
20.
So initially it is 0. Now from 0 it is changed to 20. You gave a value 20, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The value of A for that object is initially 0. But later I gave the value of A for that object as 20. Now the value of A is no more 0, it is 20, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it is a variable. The value in this variable can vary, correct? Initially it is 0,
Yes.
Yeah.
now it is 20. Later you can change it to 30, that's your wish, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Suppose if I change it here, what is the value of A now?
30.
It's still
30.
30.
Yeah, initially it is 0, then I changed it to 20, now I changed it to 30. So now when I print it, what is obj.a? It will print 30,
30.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that the point that I'm going to make here is the default value of a integer variable is 0. I'm talking about the instance variables. Keep that point in mind. The default value, because these are the instance variables. These variables are instance variables, right? These are the only variables which are instance variables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suppose if I create a variable inside the method, this is not a instance variable. D is not an instance variable. The variables which are part of the class are the instance variables.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm talking about the instance variables only. The default value of a instance variables, if it is an integer, it is 0. For example, I have a string, otherwise I have a boolean C. So what is the value for C for this particular object? For this particular object, what is the value of C? Did I give any value?
No.
No.
When I don't give any value, the default value for a boolean variable is false.
False. Okay.
The default value is false. Okay. Suppose if I run
Okay.
this program, I got false, correct?
Yeah.
So because the boolean variable can have only true or false, nothing else, correct?
Yes.
The default value is false when you don't give any value. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now what I'll do is I will have one more string variable, string D. So now I created an object. So now this object has all these properties, correct? It has a variable A, it has a variable B, it has a variable C, it has a variable D, correct?
Yes.
So what is the value of D for this object? Did I give any value for the D?
No.
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 When I don't give any value, the default value of a string variable is null.
Yeah.
It's null. So run as Java application. Did I get it? Did I get it as null?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the default value of an integer variable is 0. The default value of a string variable is null. The default value of a boolean variable is null.
False.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Boolean variable is false. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Similarly, Okay. No, I don't want to complicate this. I will complicate it later. But now you understood the default values, correct?
Yes.
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 Okay. For example, while declaring the variable itself, if I give a value, declaration and initialization happening at the same line.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the variables I have declared, and I gave the values to those variables, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when I create the object, for this object, what is the value of D?
KJ. Yes.
So,
He,
so
he
because now these variables have some values. By
Yes.
default, when the object is created, by default, the value of B for this object is this one.
Yeah.
right.
Suppose if I specify now if I ask you what is obj.a, what is the value of obj.a?
30.
It's not 30, it's 20.
Penny. That.
And
Because initially when the object is created, yes, it has a value of a equal to 30.
Yes.
okay.
But later I changed it to 20, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now I'm printing here. What is the value of a for the object? Correct? I have to get 20, the latest value, correct? That is the value
Yes.
No,
here right now.
it's 30. It's 30.
It's
Aval is 30, Ramji. You
Oh, here I
changed.
modified. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Here I modified, right? Suppose if
Yes.
you don't have this line,
20.
Yeah, it's 20.
it's 20,
Now it's
correct?
20. Yes.
Yeah.
So similarly, so what I'm saying here is, if you don't give any value, by default, when the object is created, that object will have a value 0, correct?
Yes.
yes.
But if you give some value here, when the object is created, that object will have a value 30.
Yeah.
But later
Yeah.
you can change the value for that object. That's your wish.
Mm.
But when the object is created, immediately after the object is created, the value of a will be 30.
30.
Then later I'm changing it to 20.
Yes.
Correct? Any questions?
No.
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 Similarly, what is the value of C for this particular object when the object is created?
True.
So it is true.
True.
When the object is created, suppose if I don't give this, then what is the value of C when the object is created?
False.
The
False.
default value is false, correct?
Yes.
If
Yeah.
you don't specify anything, by default it is false. But if you specify something, when the object is created, the object will have that value.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No, Ramji.
No run.
Yun, did you understand?
Yeah, I'm just keep thinking about the default value.
What is that?
Would you mind, can you explain again about this default value?
The fourth, which one? This one?
Yeah, yes,
It's a string variable. It's a string variable and you have a string value, correct?
yes.
So now what is the value of D for this particular object?
Hello?
Why it is null? Because it has a
Hello?
value, right?
I'm sorry, I can hear you. Hello?
From where the disturbance is coming? Divya, can you please mute your microphone?
Yeah, I'm muted, Ramji.
There are two things, right? Yeah. Now talk. Hyun, now talk. Hyun,
Yes, yes.
tell
Hello?
me what is the doubt now?
Hello?
Hyun, you said that you have some doubt, right?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Tell me what is your doubt? You want me to explain it again?
Yes, yes.
Please speak out, man. If you don't speak, I don't understand.
Okay.
Okay. So the object is created for class A. When the
Okay.
object is created for class A, what is the value of A, Hyun? Hyun, what is the value of A when the object is created?
30
What is the value of D?
KJLY.
So when the object is created, that object has a value of D. For D, the value is this one. For A, the value is this one. For B, the value is this one. So this object has all these properties because these are the properties of a class. When you create an object for this class, that object will have all these properties. For
Okay.
example, when you have a class called human beings and you have a int i's and int years and so on, when you create an object for that class, every object will have those properties. So suppose I am an object of human being class, I have eyes and I have ears and everything. So what is the value of eyes and what is the value of ears and what is the value of nose for my object? It might be different from what is the value of eyes and what is the value of ears and what is the value of nose from the other object, correct?
Yes.
So, but when the object is created, what are the values? These are the values for the object. After you want to change the values, you can change the values for that object.
Okay.
So now I wanted you to answer, Hyun. I am writing a program. I created two objects. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm asking you, what is the value for obj1.a and obj1.c is equal to false. And obj1.b is equal to xyz. So obj dot a is equal to 50, and I'm asking you to tell me what is the output of this program obj dot b and sys out obj dot a and sys out obj1 dot c and sys out obj dot c. You will tell me what will happen when you run this program. Tell me step by step.
Okay. So the OBJB
Tell
is
me
going.
step by step what will happen when I run this program. What is the first thing that will happen when I run this program? The main method will be called, correct?
Yes, yes.
So then the entire logic in the main method will be executed. When the main method is called, the logic inside the main method will be executed, correct?
Yes.
You have to speak out, okay? You cannot remain silent when I'm asking you question. So tell me what is the first line here?
Instance method.
Sorry,
The object.
what is the meaning of that line? What is the meaning of that line?
Instance method.
Where is the method here in this line? Where is the method? Do you know what is the method? Dude, I think you have a lot of gap here. You are not understanding anything from day one. If you tell me if you are not understanding, because after 10 classes, if you ask me what is the meaning of this, I cannot explain you again.
Okay.
So what is happening here? You are creating an object for class A. That is the meaning. If you don't know that, there is no meaning to go attending these classes. If you don't know how to create an object, I cannot help you. What I'm doing
Okay.
here, I'm creating an object of class A and referring this object with a variable called obj. Correct?
Yeah.
What is the difficulty here? Why are you thinking a lot to explain that? You don't know how to create an object? Tell me yes or no. Do you know how to create an object or not?
Yeah, I know.
So then why didn't you explain me this line? So what I'm doing here?
Create the object.
Of which class?
A.
I am creating an object of class A. Okay. After creating an object, what I'm doing? I'm referring this object with a variable called obj. I'm referring that object with that variable. Now what I'm
Okay.
doing next? What I'm doing next?
Reference of obj.
I am giving the value of A equal to 50 for this object. I think there's a lot of gap. No, first of all, you have to go through the recordings. From day one, you never went through the recordings, I'm damn sure. You never went through the recordings from day one. Agreed or not?
Okay.
Tell me yes or no. Are you going through the recordings?
Yeah.
Then why you are not able to tell what is the meaning of this? You are giving the value of A equal to 50 for this particular object. Obj is nothing but this particular object, correct? Obj
Yes.
is referring to this object. When I say obj dot A equal to 50 means I am giving the value of A equal to 50 for this object. Then I am creating a second object of class A and referring that object with this variable. I gave the value of C equal to false, value of D equal to XYZ for the second object. Will everyone agree?
Yeah.
So then what I'm doing? I am printing obj.b. So tell me what is the value of b for the obj. Obj is nothing but first object. Obj1 is nothing but second object. So I'm asking you what is the value of b for the first object? What is the value of b for the first object?
50.
Did I give you any value for the b for the
And-
first object?
No.
Then what is the value of b for the first object? By default it is 50. By default it is 50, correct? Will everyone agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is the output you'll get?
50.
What is the next output? What is the value of A for the first object?
30.
It is 50 because
Yeah.
initially it is 30, but when the object is created, it is 30, but I changed it to 50. I changed it to 50 from 30 in this particular line. So now the obj.A equal to 50, correct?
Yes.
So what is the value of A for the second object? Did they give any value for A for the second object?
No.
Then what is the value of A for the second object if I don't give the value? By default it is 30.
There's a lot of turbulence.
Yeah,
Hello,
you have to
Ramji. I
use
can't
the
hear you, Ramji.
microphone.
Your
Use
voice.
the microphone. So now tell me what is the value of A for the second object? It is 30
30.
because you did not give any value for the second object here. So by default it is 30. Now what is the value of C for the second object? Huh?
False.
Yeah, false. You gave it as false, correct? So
Yeah.
it will be false. What is the value of C for the first object? Did you give the value for C?
Oh.
Value of C for the first object?
No.
When you don't give, what is the default value here?
False.
False. So you get false here. Did everyone understand this?
Yes, Ramji.
And Hyun, I'm not at all
Yes.
happy with you. You have to go through the recordings and you have to ask me the questions every day if you have any problem. So after 10 classes, if you come and ask me that you're going fast, please go slow. I cannot go back and tell all the 10 classes again. If you have a problem in the class 1, you have to tell me in the there itself. That's why I'm telling you, you have to interact with me. You have to interact with me. If you sit silently, nothing will, you will gain nothing.
Okay.
If you sit silently. I'm asking you 100 times, everyone. I'm asking everyone. Do you have any problem with my teaching? Do you want me to go slow, or you want me to continue in this fast, in this speed? No one raised any concerns. Now, if you raise concerns after 10 classes, I can't help you.
Okay.
I'm telling everyone, if you have any problem, please let me know then and there itself. Did everyone understand that?
Yes,
Yes,
Ramji.
Ramji.
I have no problem.
Okay. So that's all for this class. I'm breaking this class for now because I wanted everyone to go through the recordings first. So the only
Okay.
thing I told in this class is what is the default value of a instance variable.
Yes, Ramji.
Okay, I wanted everyone to go through this and practice this and come to the evening class.
Okay.
9 o'clock, 9:30 or 9 to evening, Ramji.
9:30 only.
Okay.
Yeah, 9:30 only because I cannot make it at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I'm also in California. I have to come from the office, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Bye. Bye everyone.
Right.
Bye.